Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Paul here. Today this is all about transforming your income. So I'm going to be sharing my own experience and my tips. How is it that I managed to come from a very low income into a much higher income? Okay, at least, okay, and since this is a personal story, I would appreciate to have someone back in 2008 during the financial crisis, actually to have someone that would share with me a bit of his or her experience, give me hope, let's say, and explaining that you should not let a good crisis slip away without taking advantage of that, okay? So I would appreciate to have someone that actually could explain to me how is it that I can actually turn into my income 10 times more, 15 times more, 20 times more, okay? So without no bullshit, let's put it like that, okay? So with that said, that's what I'm gonna be sharing today, even more take into consideration that we are indeed through a new crisis, okay, so hyperinflation crisis. So I thought to myself, why is it that I should not share what was my experience, because most of the things or some of the things that you are getting on this crisis is quite similar, okay? And at that day and age, I was with a very low income. So with that said, don't go anywhere, stick around. So let's start with the first one. Okay, so before we go any further, let's talk about context, okay? So because this is important for you to understand what I mean by low, what is it that I actually do mean by a low income? So essentially at that moment in time I was earning, and those are my numbers, so I'm gonna be completely transparent on this front. So I was earning roughly around 6,000 euros, okay, gross at yearly level, okay? So that would translate into roughly 500 euros a month, okay? So I would say that that is not that much, okay, regardless from where is it that you are living across the globe. So that was my challenge, okay? So how is it that I could actually move from that into something that would be better than my current situation at that moment in time? So I took two decisions, okay? So one was I'm gonna be working my ass off. So I'm gonna be putting the hours, okay, working harder. And then the other thing that I took as a decision was I'm gonna be moving jobs, okay? So I'm gonna be putting myself into a different situation. I'll negotiate my new job, my new salary, let's say, and that would allow me to actually to go into a higher position, okay? And that was what I've done, okay? What was the result of that? Yes, my salary went up, my income went up, but at the same time, I would say that 5 years ahead, let's say, I was in a very stagnant position. Okay, I was in the middle of a stagnation between brackets, and also in the middle of a crisis, a financial crisis of epic proportions. Okay, so it was not good. Okay, nothing seemed that pleasant at that moment in time. So because I was looking my friends and colleagues, and I was hearing a lot of stories around the same. So interest rates went really up, okay, and then suddenly people started to move from paying X to paying double or almost double the price of the rent, okay. And of course, meaning money was tight, so things were really tough, okay. So I experienced that kind of situation myself as well. Although luckily not in such extreme fashion, but nevertheless was difficult. Okay, so with all of that said, with all of that context, so what was the solution, Paul? What was the tips? Let's say, what were the things that you took as to get to the next level? So I can say to you that I tried loads of things, okay? Loads of things, loads of different approaches, but I'm gonna be just sharing with you the top 5, okay? Those that I would say that can actually work, at least they work with me, okay? And I will explain how, okay? And that can and will allow you to earn 10 times more, 15 times, 20 times more than you are currently as you stand, okay? So with that said, don't go anywhere and stick around for the last one. Let's then talk about the top 5 tips that you need really to take into consideration in order to transform your income. Okay, so before we actually jump into that, okay, this is just to share with you guys, this is based on my own experience. I went through different sorts of solutions, I tried loads of things, but I would say that you need to fail fast and learn even faster. Okay, with that said, prior of anything else, you need to set up a few objectives, okay, so that you can almost guide yourself towards that direction. Okay, so if you don't have your objectives clear, okay, on your mind, which can happen, of course, you should actually at least have what is it that you don't want. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing with you what were my objectives in 2010, 2015, and then I think 2020 exactly. Okay, high level, so that you have an idea of how is it that I moved from my objectives, and then I took into consideration the top 5. Okay, so in 2010, this was all about earning more, grow as a professional, and have fun. Okay, fair. Okay, I think it's good. So 2015, I was looking more and more towards doing what I love, have more professional demand, and being happy. Okay, then it came 2020, and everyone knows what happened actually in 2020 with everything around the COVID and the coronavirus. Okay, so with that said, in 2020 there were a lot of things on my head, on my mind, and made me think what should be then my next objectives. Okay, so as I stand, I'm still on that one. Okay, so essentially moving towards geographical and financial independence, help others as much as possible. This is why I actually made this YouTube channel, and I'm sharing posts and information and whatever, speaking in the universities just to help out as much as I can, being happy and having fun while doing what I love. Okay, that is essentially my main objectives. So, okay, for 2020, I would say, and moving forward. Okay, so moving then into my top 5 objectives. And why would I say that the first one, without a shadow of a doubt, should be invest in yourself? Okay, so this is really, really key, fundamental, I would say. The big jump that I had in terms of income was mostly due to this up to a certain point in my career. Okay, so the fact that I invested on myself, and then this can be done by you moving out of your comfort zone and moving countries as I've done, or go and do work that is more highly paid, even though you don't know exactly how to do it. Try new things, or simply study, take courses, take certifications. I took certifications, I moved countries, etc. To learn more. Okay, so invest in yourself would be my first thing. Okay, this will really allow you to transform your income. Okay, then next, okay, and looking at my notes. Okay, so the next one would be, for me, that is also really important, I would say even fundamental, is for you to actually understand your effort rate. Okay, so what is this about? So in a nutshell, okay, so you have 100% of your income, okay, and this can be seen from a monthly perspective. Okay, what you need to bear in mind is that you need to keep, okay, or saying this on the flip side, you need to have 50% ideally of your income on a monthly basis allocated to pay all of your bills, all of your accounts. Okay, you should not go beyond the 50% ideally, and then you have 50% free. Okay, or at the bare maximum, I would say you need to go up to the 75% bracket maximum to pay everything. So you really need to understand your effort rate, and for that, if you don't, just put an Excel. Okay, put everything that you are spending on, how much are you paying, and then divide essentially the amount that you are paying, let's say on a monthly level, okay, by the amount that you receive. So essentially divide what you are spending by the amount that you receive, and you're going to get your effort rate. Okay, it should be ideally at the 50%, or worst case scenario at the 75%, and that amount needs to be enough to cover everything that you have as an expense. Okay, that's what I do, and that was essentially what allowed me to actually to move away. I remember still 2010, I was in such a deep problem, I would say, okay, and deep shit, let's put it like that. Okay, so that really allowed me to think differently and rethink the way I actually spend my money. Okay, moving forward, outside of the effort rate, there's another thing that you should really consider in order to transform your income. My other thing would be I moved jobs a few times, I would say, and this will be a way for you to actually to earn more as you move from one job to the other. But outside of that, there's another thing that you should consider, at least that is based on my own experience, that even allow you to go further than that, okay? Look at the market, okay? Think on what is it that you do, okay, in terms of work, skill sets that you have, and think how is it that you can actually make use of those skill sets in a much more high demand kind of area and better pay kind of area. That's what I've done, and result like a marvel, okay? Outside of that as well, so this will be another one. So outside of that, I would say that there is one that I already slightly mentioned that, but I would say that you should really be taking this into consideration. Sorry, change jobs if you are not paid what you are worth. Okay, that will be my other advice. Okay, and this is I know that sometimes is difficult to change jobs because it's all about adapting yourself to a new position, adapting yourself to a new company, a new environment. If you're going to go on your own, adapting yourself to that as well. All of that can be challenging, but for me will be really one of the best possible advices will be change jobs if you are not paid what you're worth, okay? Even more, because if you're not paid as such, is because most likely the company does not value, okay? So that will be my take, okay? Then, moving forward to the last one. Okay, so this is what I would say that is the key, I would say, principle to take you from an okay situation towards a situation that you are much more financially independent, okay? So for me will be pay yourself first, okay? Save and invest, okay? Most of us will not get richer, let's put it like that, or not get rich by working a 9-to-5 job, okay? But nevertheless, if you do like what you do, you need to make sure that you actually save sufficient money and you put that money that you save and you invest, okay? That is my take, okay, on that, and that will allow for you to actually to grow more and more your financial independence. If something goes bad in terms of a crisis, you have something else to hold on to, okay? So that will be my take, okay? With that said, hopefully this was an interesting session, okay? Please feel free to drop me any questions if you want to know more about investment. How is it that I've done as well? I can share a bit more on that. But with that said, that's it, guys. Just click here if you want to know more. Sorry, about how to move from zero to overemployed, as it was my case, and how big of a tool on happiness that had. Okay. With that said, thank you very much for your time. Please do give a thumbs up, subscribe, and join me on this journey. Take care. Cheers. Peace.